Welcome everyone to this week's video. Today we are on Fish Friday number 109 and we have a good one for you today. Today's fish is very popular in the aquarium trade, absolutely beautiful, and one I actually highly recommend to people in offices. Today's fish that we're going to be talking about is the celestial pearl Danio. So the celestial pearl Danio, or scientific name Danio margaritas, margaritatus. There we go, margaritatus. It is also known as the galaxy Rasbora, and it is part of the family Cyprinidae, the family of carps and minnows. We've talked about these very often. It's one of the most numerous families in terms of species, so obviously we're going to be on Cyprinidae a bit if we continue this. Now, they are native to the country of Myanmar, and they're very specifically located in the Nam Land and the Nam Pon rivers. But what's really interesting about that is they're actually found in areas of extremely high elevation, elevations of over 1,000 meters or 3,400 feet. That's pretty high up there when you're considering that a lot of water is, near or at sea level. So it's actually it's a really neat, almost mountainous fish. In terms of where they're found a lot of times in seeping groundwater or overflow pools. So, all those, Myanmar has thousands upon thousands of natural springs, and in those little pools where the springs can come out, that's where you'll see this fish a lot of times. Very, very prevalent throughout there, though. They are a small fish. Oh, I should also mention, because of that, you don't really find these in large rivers. You might find this there's a lake, I believe, called Inley Lake. I think Inley Lake, where you might find these. I know that's where you find like the emerald dwarf Rasbora, but I'm not sure if celestial pearls can be found in the lake. Now, this is a small fish. It's about 2 to 2.5 centimeters, which is basically 3/4 of an inch to an inch long. They're not big at all. This is like the epitome of small fish. And as you can see here in the picture, they have this really blunt snout. This blunt snout right here, and these very large eyes as compared to the rest of their body. But you can ignore the blunt snout and the large eye. I mean, this is a colorful fish. This is a beautiful fish to look at. It's extremely colorful. But what a lot of people don't realize in the aquarium trade, especially beginner aquarius, you can actually tell the sexes of these fish by their colors. They are sexually dimorphic. The males have this bright blue background and these extremely brightly colored fins. All of the fins are brightly colored. Females are actually, that's not a female, that is a male. Females are a little duller, much duller green. They have a wider belly, and it's actually a larger belly as well. Very larger belly, but they're a little duller green. However, even the duller females are still extremely beautiful to look at. Both of them have these little dots down the side. That's how they get the celestial pattern, the pearl pattern. These pearly dots, and they do kind of look like pearls in water. They shimmer. They're beautiful. Something interesting to note: their gill covers, their opercles are not They're not actually red here. They're actually completely transparent. And the reason why they look red is they're transparent, and that's the blood red gills that are underneath. That was something that I was unaware of. I thought the opercle bone was actually red, but nope, it's completely clear. Also, in terms of males, if you didn't see this, these males have these kind of black bars or black bands that extend on their tails with red in between, with this real clear, just like stripe right down the middle of the tail fin, or the caudal fin. Really, really interesting. Maybe that's what we should do. We should do a Fish Friday where I talk about the different fins and everything and teach the ichthyological characteristics. Different scales, different fins. Yeah, I think we might do that. In breeding, the males get this extremely bright red belly right here, and their fins color up quite a bit more, and they love to throw out their single fins, and that's how their courtship happens. They throw out their anal fin, their dorsal fin, their caudal fin. They really put those on display for the females. Females will actually get a gravid spot, a dark spot way down on the belly, to show that either they are pregnant or that they are willing to receive. They are an egg-laying species. Now, as I said, they are popular in the aquarium trade. Rightly so. They're a gorgeous fish. And what's really important for me, why I like them and why I recommend them to people, is they are perfect for like what are called nanocubes. And nanocubes are really small, like gallon and a half, 2 gallon aquariums that are completely enclosed. Here, I'll actually show you real quick. I swear I can type. See, so these nanocubes, you have 12 gallon, 24, there's smaller than this, but you got these little aquariums that actually have filters built into the back so that they're they can stay completely on a desk. I've had these numerous times. When I was big in the aquarium trade, I actually had 4 of these running at once. I do not recommend that. That is hard to keep up with, but I was definitely huge in the aquarium trade for a while there. These are actually perfect for those little desktop aquariums, not the beta aquariums, the little like 3rd gallon things. If you plan it out right and you're very, very careful, you might get away with that, but I would probably stay away from those. They do like a little more room, and they love a lot of vegetation. They want to be in heavily vegetation, and you need more than one. You want to have about 6 minimum. I wouldn't call them necessarily schooling, but they don't actually like to be alone. But now, for the interesting fact that we're going to end the video on, is kind of the history of this fish. This fish was actually discovered in 2006, and I say discovered by the scientific community. This is a relatively new species to the the scientific world, and a big reason for that is actually because the area that these were found were actually off limits to Westerners. I'm not entirely sure why I didn't go into the depth of why it was off limits to Westerners or what caused the change, but they changed and Westerners were allowed to be found, and basically they found this and they were like, hey, this would be really good in the aquarium trade. This was in 2006, not that long ago. Every year I have a birthday, it feels longer ago, but not that long ago. But the crazy thing about it is, within 6 months of it coming out and being popular in the aquarium trade, there was a false report that came out that said that they had become so rare that the collectors were only collecting a few fish per day when they used to be collecting a lot. And at the time, there was very little successful commercial breeding for this fish. So this created a big kind of stir especially in the British and United Kingdom, or just European aquarium trade in general. They basically said, we need to stop this, and it was like really, really interesting that like how it just progressed. Like, it was one of those fish where everyone was like, we need to stop this, we need to do this, otherwise this fish will go die. Turns out that was a little unfounded, that report. They were a little unclear. One of the reasons that the report was there is that these fish found in those groundwater spring pools and little overflow pools, things like that, usually those types of fish are rare, and they're very endemic, and they're very like slow to grow. Turns out that the celestial pearl Danio just will spawn kind of throughout the year, any day that it feels like, I've got enough food, let's have babies. And they'll do it, and so they can actually reproduce fairly often, and they are very good at it. So these ponds that people were only collecting a few fish, if you left them alone for basically a month, they exploded and you had 100 of them, 1,000 of them the next day. So basically what happened was Myanmar said in 2007, no more collection of the fish. And then not too much longer, it was like, Myanmar actually launched an investigation into it. And then Myanmar was like, no, we got plenty of these fish. Come on. And now they're captive bred, like worldwide. Like a ton of people have figured out how to breed these. At its height, it used to be $20 a fish. Now you can find them like $2, $1, $4. I mean, however you want to do it, but really beautiful fish. Kind of an interesting backstory. One of the times where people got a little scared of pushing a fish beyond the brink before it was even there. So just a little interesting fact. But thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you again. If I don't, please be safe. Have a great day. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you do. I'd really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Have a wonderful weekend.